Okay, Vortex. 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks, and I'm going to do stand-up again. I say that because tonight I'm going to a meeting, and the next week we have a group conscience meeting. And it's my home group. The reason I started going back to meetings, I think I've mentioned this before. I know I've mentioned it before. I don't just think I know I've mentioned it before. But I was out for a long time. Like 15 years. I went to meetings a while ago when I was in the throes of addiction. Initially, I was forced to go. And I got kind of hooked on it because I was insecure and it just made sense to go to a cult. And I mean, technically it's not really a cult because, like, you can leave. Nobody threatens you. They might call and ask where you are if they haven't seen you in a while, make sure you're okay, make sure you're not dead, or at a liquor store or something like that. But they can't force you to stay there, and they can't force you to do anything. Everything's a suggestion, and you have to do it yourself. So I think that that's why it works, because you're the one that's making all the decisions to stay and to, unless you're like court ordered to be there or something. But most of the time, people that are court ordered like don't last because they don't want to be there. But anyway, I worked the steps, and there was a lot of stuff that stuck with me. And I'm a very, very receptive person. So, you know, even though I didn't stick around with AA, I mean, I relapsed, but I mean, eventually I got sober again, but I was smoking pot all the time, and I just didn't feel right going to meetings if I was, you know, engaging in a very drug-induced lifestyle. I mean, I still see it as medicine. I'll always see marijuana as medicine, but I think for a lot of people, it's just, you know, a habit. And that's okay too. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But, yeah, it's not really kosher with recovery people. A lot of them have a real problem with that. But the main reason I left was because I just didn't really vibe, and yeah, I felt like the whole thing was cult. But I realized, it took me a long time to realize this, that, you know, there's just a lot of stuff that I've figured out over the years. Like they're lessons that I've learned, and they all remind me of things that I learned when I was in the rooms, like things that I heard people say in meetings, but also things that I read in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 and 12, which is the 12 steps and the 12 traditions. I didn't really learn all that stuff. Like, I didn't really apply it until I went out in the real world and lived my real life. And there were plenty of people that I met in meetings that would say that, like, you don't work the program in the meetings. You work the program outside of here. You work the program with your family. You work the program in your workplace, you know? And, yeah, there's just a lot of stuff that was really, really hard for me to figure out for a long time. And then, you know, just a lot of life experience that I had that taught me, stop taking things personally. A lot of the time people are not doing shit to you, and if they are, still don't take it personally, because that'll piss them off even more, okay? Fuck you, okay? But anyway, not that we should purposely piss people off, but like if they're being antagonistic, like, fuck them, you know? But yeah, so I think that it's really important that, you know, we credit the things that helped us along the way. And I realized that, especially in dealing with this person that I was friends with for a while, that I felt was being really hateful towards me, and I was just dealing with it so well. And I know that wouldn't have happened had I not worked the steps. And understood like my part in the situation and his part in the situation, and being able to like differentiate between the two. And so I was like, maybe I should go back to meetings because I could help people the way that they helped me in the rooms. And I mean, I've already been told, like, I started going back about 6 months ago when I stopped using pot. It wasn't because of pot. It really was because of my friend. But I don't think it's a coincidence, though, that, I stopped using pot and I started going to meetings again. But, like, yeah. That was August. Like, August 1st, I believe. So what? August, September, October, November, December. Yeah, so 5 months. My bad. 5 months. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, I mean, people have already told me, they're like, man, I really get a lot out of the things that you say. Like, you have a very authentic perspective, and it's so refreshing to hear. And my sponsor said that shit, too. So, I've already chaired meetings, too. Apparently, you just have to have 6 months of sobriety time to chair meetings. And, I mean, I'm a comedian, so it just makes sense, and I haven't done stand-up in, like 7 months, 8 months, something like that. Really need to get back into it. But yeah, holding myself accountable. I probably should stop saying that I'm going to do it, though, because it's like so much worse when I say, like, yeah, I'm going to go here and do this, and I don't. Because I put that pressure on myself. I do the same thing with church. I do the same thing with all kinds of things, like cleaning. I'm going to clean. Like, I have the whole day off tomorrow. Will I do it? I don't know. Probably not. Maybe if I say I'm not gonna clean tomorrow, I'm gonna do everything but clean, then maybe, just maybe, don't do the opposite, because I do the opposite in regards to everything else in the world. Maybe I can reverse psychology myself. Yeah, I gotta go to this meeting now. But yeah, I'm telling myself that after next week, I'm going to go back to the East Room. And if I don't get on, I'm going to go to fucking Bobby's. It's going to be terrible. I hate that bar so much. But I really need to do it. So, I know it's what I'm supposed to do with my life. And, like, that's the main reason that I fight it, I think. Because, yeah, it's like that pressure. But, if I hadn't started doing stand-up, I wouldn't be doing this piano punk shit, and I wouldn't be doing all those posters and YouTube and Rumble. Like, I wouldn't have done that either, so... it's all about, taking risks and applying yourself and trusting the whole process. And I know that I wouldn't do that if I didn't believe in God. So, believe it or not, when I started doing stand-up, I was in a secular period. But that's how smart God is. Like, he knows me better than I know myself. He's like, oh, don't worry. She'll be back.